We are in the USA, Montana. Ayaw mo nang pumasok bukas? Magkulansi ka? Oo.
Have a nice time. Enjoy.
Yeah, enjoy. Thank you.
Except for one short steep.
Ayan, mag-hike tayo papunta doon sa kabila. Oh, dito oh. Picturean mo ako dito.
And then the other thing is our hotel.
Ah! Hati tayo! Tagay muna tayo.
Boss pandesal. Kaso walang palaman. Chocolate. Tay pandesal. Kumain ang ako.
Maya na, kasi may baon si Inday. Masarap yung baon nila. Nangingilaw-ngilaw si Inday. Oh. Kumikinang-kinang. Oh. Talaga naman. Oh, so grabe talaga. Oh.
Good talaga.
Bye. See you.
Wala na sila. Kanina mga puno yun.
On a nice day like today, it's a pretty easy answer, right? There's a lot of days where it's not so nice. Sometimes we call goat haunt mosquito haunt.
Mosquito hunt.
It can be quite buggy down here some days. It's a
Ang
nice
langsa
time
day?
to be here, though. Late August, early September. Beautiful weather. Looks like people are pointing at a
May,
house on the
may,
left.
ay,
So it's flying just up
Oh.
on our right-hand side now. So there we go. That's an excellent wildlife sighting. We got them trained to do that, you bet. They're cool to see them. 6 feet from wingtip to wingtip. They're often looking for fish. On these nice calm days down here, they see a fish come up into the shallow water. They'll dive down, dip their talons in the water, try to grab hold of that fish. How the bald eagles mates, that's a whole other story. When the bald eagles mates, they will fly up way up into the farmhouse. That's how they mate. That's the mating process. I don't know about you, it sounds like a lot of pressure. That's pretty interesting. The bald eagles during the winter months inside that building. Now, why would we store the boat down here in the middle of nowhere? Well, that's actually the exact location this boat was built in 1927. So 97 years ago, that's where they assembled this boat, building it right down here in the middle of nowhere. It was the Great Northern Railway Company that built this boat. They wanted their boat to be a U.S. registered ship. And And old maritime law specified that the keel of the boat, the bottom of the boat, had to be placed on U.S. soil in the building process. So they went through the extra trouble of floating all the parts from the town site of Waterton all the way down here to Gaupont when they assembled the boat using only hand tools. Pretty remarkable feat. Now we get to cruise on a piece of living history. The MV International, she is underwater, stuff you can't see. A lot of that has been replaced more recently. But there are lots of original parts on board the boat. So if you poke your head into the wheelhouse here, of course, the ship's wheel, that's original. The captain, he's original. I'm just kidding. The compass and some of the gadgets up here, the ship's home.
Saan? Hindi ko nakikita. Ayun no? O, kaya nilalapitan natin, o. Sana makakita man lang tayo.
Right, so if you see him on the shoreline, we're going to turn broadside here in a minute, so we'll get everybody a good view. Have everybody just sit down, alright? Everybody sit down. We'll get nice and close and get everyone a good view.
Ayun, dalawa. Ay, tatlo. Ayun, oo.
So here on the...
Bibigil ba yun?
Nanay at saka ano.
Dalawa isang maliit. Ganit pa isa.
Kumakain sila.
Yung ano, yan yung pala yung mother. Isa pala yung mother, yung isa yung pala yung baby.
Parang tumatagilid yung ano. Napunta rito. Ayan o. Ayan.
Ayun na, yun. Dalawa.
Ay, tatlo pala sila. There are 3.
Tatlo?
Oo.
Hindi ba mother yung
1, 2. May dalawang maliit. Oh, nagtakbuhan sila. Ayun. Umaakyat. Ayun, umaakyat sa puno. Wow! Uy, lumapit ka dito. Lumangoy kayo rito. Anong kinukuha nila? Mga fruits? Oo. Sana lumapit tayo doon. Lalapit ka pa. Bye! See you next year. Nilapitan na naman ako. Nakaano. Nagtago na. Ang damot naman nila.
It's very important that they get all that food. They need to eat a lot of berries. How many berries can a bear eat in a single day? It's a delayed implantation or embryonic arrest. So to kind of explain what this is, the mating season for the bears, it's from mid-May to mid-June. So it's in the springtime. That's when they will mate. They won't give birth until the middle of January, until the middle of the winter time. I can safely say right now in the national park, there is not a single pregnant bear. There's not a bear that is pregnant. How does that work? Mating season cells in size, and they will stop developing. They will float freely in the womb of the mother bear waiting. There's weight. That's when her body makes a very important decision for her. If she has gained enough weight, she is healthy. Those little embryos, they'll be given the green light. They will automatically self-implant on her uterine wall. 6 to 8 weeks later, she will have cubs. On the other hand, say there was a failed berry crop. Say that mother bear could not find enough food. She goes into her den, her body gives her the red lights. Those little embryos, they self-abort, dissolving back into her bloodstream as protein, and she'll have to try again the next year. She won't become pregnant if she doesn't have enough food. And so it's a survival mechanism for the bears. Delayed implant pregnancy for the female bear. And so when those cubs are born, they're extremely underdeveloped, weighing only about a pound in size. You can fit them in the palm of your hand, completely hairless, their eyes are closed, they have bare feet and bare bottoms. Right? Bad joke. They're quickly put on the rich mother bear's milk and they will quickly grow in size. When they emerge from the den sometime in the spring, they're usually weighing about 20 pounds, cute little fur balls. And they will follow the mother bear around for the next 2 to 3 years. Usually black bears, they will keep their cubs for 2 years. And after that, they will be parents on board, keep their kids for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Not being a bear doesn't sound so bad. Their heart rate slows right down, their metabolism basically shuts down, and their breathing almost stops. That's a true form of hibernation. When the bears go into their den, and that's why they need all that extra fat reserves. They need to put on all that extra weight, because they're keeping their body warm, they're heating their body, their metabolism is still working throughout the winter months. So not a true form of hibernation, just a long winter sleep. And like I said, they'll usually go into their den once the first snow begins to cover up all the food sources. Sometime in November is pretty typical. Good question. How many bears do we have here in this area? I know the stats for Waterton Park, for Waterton Lakes National Park. They estimate about 300 black bears within Waterton Lakes National Park. Grizzlies, it's a much harder estimate, but about maybe 30 grizzlies is some of the numbers I've heard. One male grizzly bear, its entire home habitat is about the same size. Folks, we're about to cross the border once again. Have a look off the right-hand side, you'll have the up-close view of the border as it heads down right up the side of Mount Boswell. And then off the left-hand side as well, you can see the border going down the Boundary Valley. So just like that, comes and goes pretty fast. That is the 49th parallel. Welcome back
Ayan
to
o,
Canada.
yun yung ano, may muhon.
Look off the left-hand side through the U-shaped valley, you have Mount Custer in the distance. That large
Andun
portion
yung
of
isa,
snow
o,
at the base of Mount
galing tayo
Custer,
doon,
that
o.
long line of it, that is part of the what used to be called the Herbst Glacier. Back in 2010, that was the Herbst Glacier. Now it is known as the Herbst Snowfield. So it was downgraded from a glacier to a snowfield, and that begs the question, what is the difference, right? People asked me that earlier on in the trip. The key difference between a glacier and a snowfield is defined as a moving mass of snow and ice. For a glacier to be able to move, it has to have what they call critical mass. It needs to be about 60 feet thick, or about 20 meters. Once it has that key thickness, the bottom layer of snow and ice, it is compressed to what they call firn. Its molecular structure changes ever so slightly, and this firn acts as a lubricating layer along the bottom of the glacier, almost elastic-like in quality. A couple of people at the back say there's some goats up on the top of Mount Boswell rather, up here up the right. If you have a set of binoculars, you can look for the mountain goats, look for those little white dots somewhere up top. The glaciers, they are losing their size, they are melting away, and once they lose that critical mass, they get downgraded to snowfields. And that's what we can see from around the lake today. Numerous snowfields, they will stay year-round throughout the whole summer, but not quite large enough to be a glacier. have noticed, we went by a dock a minute ago over on the right-hand side in the bay, and that is where the ones here in Waterton was rated by National Geographic as one of the world's top 20 most thrilling day hikes. So what makes that Crypt Lake Trail so thrilling, so exciting, are the obstacles you have to face to get up to Crypt Lake. As you're walking down the trail, the first obstacle is about a 10-foot high ladder bolted into a rock wall. So the trail comes to a dead end, you got to climb up this ladder. Once you're on top, the next obstacle is a 60-foot long natural tunnel. It's about the length of the upper deck. You got to take your backpack off, you got to crouch down, and you got to scurry your way through this tunnel. Once you come out the other side of the tunnel, you find yourself standing on a cliff ledge, looking vertically 600 feet right down to the valley floor. You have to walk along this cliff ledge while holding onto a chain bolted into the rock wall. And the cliff ledge is about the width of a narrow sidewalk, about 2.5, 3 feet wide in most areas. So it makes people a little bit nervous with that big 600-foot drop on the one side. And that's what makes that hike so thrilling, so exciting, why it was rated so highly. It's a long one. It's 8 kilometers one way, about 5.5 miles. So it's a full day hike, gaining around 2,300 feet of elevation, so a little over 700 meters. So that's a good one. That's a Crypt Lake Trail, but there's lots of great hiking to do while you're here in the park. While you're in Waterton, I'd highly recommend to go for a short hike. Even if you're not a hiker, even if you don't want a full day hike, you just want to go for a little 15-minute walk through the forest, there's lots of those, lots of really good short hikes even in Waterton. A couple of recommendations on a couple of good hikes. There's one, if you take a scenic drive up to Red Rock Canyon, get up to the canyon itself. You can go for a little walk on a paved path around the canyon. There's a bridge that goes right over the canyon, so that's pretty neat. And then if you want to go on a short hike from Red Rock Canyon, you can go to a place called Blackiston Falls. Blackiston Falls, 15 minutes each way on a perfectly flat trail. And the really cool thing about that Blackiston Falls trail, it takes you right through the burnt forest. So you get to see firsthand the regrowth, the rejuvenation of the forest. You'll see lodgepole pine trees 4 or 5 feet tall up at Red Rock Canyon. You'll see different types of wildflowers. One of the wildflowers that might still be blooming is called fireweed. These big, tall, pink flowers are all over the backcountry, not blooming anymore. Might be just about done for this season. You'll find berry bushes. Maybe you can identify some Saskatoons or huckleberries. You can sample those. You're allowed to eat those. Saskatoons, huckleberries, thimbleberries. Those are the big red ones with the big green leaves. You can look for those. Get yourself a little guidebook or something, or Google it, and check it all out. There's lots to do, lots to see here in the park. But that Blackiston Falls Trail, that's a nice short one that you can do. 15 minutes each way on a flat trail. If you're looking for something a little bit more challenging, there's a hike called the Bear's Hump. The Bear's Hump, it is short and sweet, but it is definitely not easy. It's only about a kilometer, just over a kilometer each way. Over the course of that kilometer, you switch back the entire way, gaining elevation as you go. So it's quite steep, but over the view from the top of the Bear's Hump is well worth it. You get a beautiful, rewarding view overlooking the whole town site of Waterton and the whole valley, the whole of the Waterton Valley. Wait for the Miss Waterton. We're going on a shorter cruise. They just go to the border and back. So that's the shorter hour and 15-minute trip. Like I said, lots to do, lots to see here in Waterton. Go for a little stroll around the town site of Waterton. You can walk around the whole town site in about 45 minutes. At the very back edge of town, there's a waterfall, Cameron Falls, you can go check out. It won't cost you a dime to check it out. Cameron Falls. Right along the back edge of town. Bertha Falls, that's a little further, that's a hike that you can do. It's about 45 minutes each way to Bertha Falls. That trail takes off right from the edge of town, and it goes back into the valley just over your left shoulder to a place called Bertha Falls. 45 minutes, there's a little bit of elevation at the start, and then it flattens out, so that's a good one as well. Bring a water bottle, bring a lunch, and you're good Waterton to get something named after you, right? Break a few rules. When you're in the national park, you're going on some of the very small semicircle ears on the side of their head. It just so happens that we have an excellent example to look up ahead of us here on the right.
Hindi marami sila ya. Oh, ayan oh, nakaupo, nakahiga yung ano, tatlo. Yung isa oh, nandoon oh, nanonood lang sa kanila oh. Swerte natin, nakakita tayong dalawa. Isang black at saka isang brown. Ay. Ay, nakawakan yung loob niya. Ang cute nila. Cute. Lumangoy kayo papunta rito.
So, question, what are these bears eating? They are flipping over the rocks and they are looking for insects and bugs. Anything underneath those rocks that they can eat, they will lick up. So it's a good protein source for the bears. If you watch the mom, she might flip some rocks here. Keep an eye on her.
Apat yung ano, mother bear.
Asan yung pang-apat? Nakahiga?
Lumabas siya dito. Umalis siya.
Hanggang
So you look at the highest point on that mother bear, you can see her bum very high. She doesn't have a prominent hump on her shoulders. So that's what you look for in a grizzly bear, is a big hump of muscle on their shoulders. If it's hard to tell, it can be if they're not standing on flat ground. If you look at the face, look at those big ears on that mother black bear. So that's a great example of blonde colored black bear. And how many bears is that now on this cruise? So 3 before and now 4.
4.
And a bald eagle. So what a cruise. This is the most bears I've seen on a single cruise this summer, that's for sure. So you guys are lucky. 7 bears on one cruise. And great sightings too. They weren't afraid. Sometimes they're very quick sightings. You see them for a second and they go up into the forest and they're gone. This one, we just got to watch them. We're gonna leave them, let them be, let them keep looking for food. You can see that mother bear, she was using her front paws trying to flip rocks, looking for insects and bugs, and larvae. Here you have the Prince of Wales Hotel here on the right. Because of all the wildlife sightings, we're going to come in we're just a few minutes late, running a little bit behind, but hopefully that's all right with everyone. I think it was worth it, checking out all those wildlife sightings. What a cruise. On behalf of your crew today, your Captain Phil, First Mate Sam, and myself, we'd like to thank you folks for coming out on a boat ride with us. If it wasn't for folks like you coming out on the boat ride, we'd be out of a job. We'd have to head out to the real world and find real jobs. And let me tell you, this is too much fun, being able to share this beautiful area, talk about it. Definitely a fun job to have. So thank you very much for coming. Really hope you enjoyed the tour. If you do want to leave us any feedback, we are on platforms like TripAdvisor and Facebook. So feel free to leave any comments. I'd love to hear any feedback from you. If you do have any other questions, comments, need directions anywhere, need recommendations, I will be dockside as you are getting off the boat. More than happy to assist. But other than that, enjoy the rest of your long weekend here in Waterton Lakes National Park. Wherever you're headed from here, safe travels on your journey. Thanks again and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. Iba na yan, Yang. Iba na yan sila.
Yun, may mga lamesa na yata dito.
Dito oh.
Tayo kain.
Tayo kain, maliliit.
Ayun oh, meron pa oh.